Brothers, your support is appreciated. May God bless you, it reaches others.
Go ahead. What is your religion?
I'm an atheist agnostic.
Could you please tell me what it is that you want, so I can better understand and assist you?
I have a question.
Hold on a minute. You're the one who was here a couple days ago. Wait, you participated before and I answered some of your questions. Are you the same person?
No, that's not me, that's not me. I joined once, but at the beginning I got a call that kicked me out of the broadcast. You get it, but it's okay, sir.
Go ahead.
My question, Sheikh, about slavery.
Okay, what about slavery?
My question is, Shaikh, why didn't God clearly and explicitly forbid and criminalize the institution of slavery, or the act of enslaving other people, making it absolutely clear that such practices were not allowed or acceptable in any circumstance?
Look, I will answer your question. But before actually answering, we need to establish something very important, something essential. You as an atheist or agnostic atheist. Is slavery a crime?
Not atheist.
Atheist or agnostic, both of you are the same.
Agnostic.
All right. Listen to the question. Let's focus on the question now.
Listening, Shaikh.
The question now, you're agnostic. Do you see slavery according to the rules of agnosticism? If there are any clear or established rules at all, do you, from the perspective of agnosticism, actually consider slavery to be a crime in any sense or under any circumstances?
Of course, it's a crime.
All right, great, wonderful. Now, for example, you have someone who is agnostic. Okay, he came and enslaved another person. Now, there is a confrontation between you and this agnostic. Okay, a confrontation between you and this agnostic. How do you prove this to the agnostic? How do you prove to him and force him that his action by enslaving the other person was wrong? You and him are both agnostic. How do you prove that? Go ahead, speak.
The principle, Shaikh, is the one has been followed since the 60s, it's humanity.
No, hold on.
By the United Nations.
There's a point here. There's a point. First, there's no such thing as humanity. That's an illusion, a straw you cling to just like a drowning man clings to a straw. In reality, there's no such thing as humanity. What is humanity? Humanity comes from humans. Humans are biological beings. Humans and animals are not different in atheism. There's no difference between the two. Both came from a single common ancestor. So don't try to fool people with talk about humanity and all that sweet talk. There's really no such thing as humanity to begin with. Then let me ask you, according to the established rules of agnosticism, since you're an agnostic, what are your specific rules to prove to another agnostic that if someone enslaves another person, that's truly wrong? Come on, what's your basis? Unmute yourself.
Shaikh, please, if you would, let me finish my point without interruption.
I will interrupt you when you make mistakes.
Okay, no problems. But like I told you, Shaikh, what's the rule here? The rule is that anything that harms another person should be avoided and stopped, period. So, as you know, we're following the utilitarian principle. Enslaving a person. You're a human being and he's a human being just like you. What's the difference? You all came from a womb, you all spent 9 months in your mother's wombs. So why are you enslaving the other person for your own desires? You see, you were born free and he was born free. It's the same thing. Do you get it? So it's just not possible. It can't be. And of course, this isn't something we can suddenly convince an atheist or agnostic of, because slavery has existed for thousands of years, even before Islam, after Islam, and thousands of years before Islam. But humanity, or mankind, reached this point without any divine intervention.
Hold on, my friend, please. If you don't mind, as you mentioned, you set a rule which is benefit and harm. Okay, benefit and harm. First of all, this is not an agnostic principle. That's the first point. Second, benefit and harm differ from one person to another. You might see something beneficial, someone else sees it harmful. So what are you going to do about that? Okay, another thing is that some things may seem harmful on the surface, but you still do them and you're able to. You can't really say that it's not ethical, can you? For example, just take childbirth as an illustration. When a woman gives birth to a child, is there any harm or pain experienced by her during the process of delivery or not?
She feels pain. Yes, she feels pain and harm.
Exactly. Allow me. But according to your rule, according to your stated rule, then no woman should ever give birth because it causes harm to the woman and she could even potentially die as a result. So supposedly no one should have children, right or not?
Sheikh, yes, that's true, but let us comment before you continue.
Comment on this point for me.
As for the issue of childbirth, Sheikh, this is just the reality of the situation. I mean, if humanity had the ability for women to give birth without any pain, we would have done it all the time.
I like that. That's just reality. Hold on.
It's reality.
Hold on. That's a good phrase. It's reality. You said it's just reality, right? Okay, wasn't slavery at one point in time also just a reality or not? Answer me.
There is nothing.
Please answer my question for me if you can. Listen, listen, listen. I won't let you get away from this topic. My question to you, was there a time when slavery was just a reality or not? Answer.
Yes, it was a reality. Yes.
Great. Now, as an atheist, you said that if this harm is simply a reality of the world, then we would have no choice but to accept it. So, let me ask you this. If you had lived in a time period when slavery was considered a normal and accepted reality, would you have accepted it as well, even if it clearly caused significant harm to people? Is that right or not? If you were living in that time, don't contradict yourself. Be careful.
It depends on me and my personality. If I'm the person I am now,
No, 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 no. Your silence, that quiet pause, means that's it. Your silence, even for just a little while, gave me the answer I needed. Pay attention. Look, brothers, at how he trapped himself. He set a rule. What is that rule? If someone is harmed, then that thing is considered unethical. I gave him an example. When a woman gives birth, she suffers harm, and sometimes the mother might even die. So do you call childbirth unethical? What did he say to me? He told me, no, because this is a real and genuine situation, a necessity that exists in reality. So I said to him, okay, but wasn't slavery at one point in time also a reality? He said, yes, it was a reality. I said to him, if you were actually living at that time, would you then say that slavery is really morally acceptable and a real situation, and would you honestly accept it? Am I right or not, sir?
let's pause here, Sheikh.
Answer me. Am I right or not in what I said?
Okay, can I comment? Can't say if it's right or wrong. I didn't finish my point.
Don't run from the question.
No, actually, my question was, why didn't God forbid it for you after the topic you brought up with me?
But that's not the point. I'll get to that. But to prove to people that as an atheist, you have no morals. You have no moral reference. You have no ethical standards. Yet you come and lecture Muslims about slavery and servitude and all that nonsense. You don't even have any moral reference point to begin with, and you're talking. Go ahead, respond. Answer my question now.
Are you listening to me now, Sheikh? Yes?
I can hear you.
Yeah, like I told you, if I were myself with my current way of thinking, living for 1,000 years ago, I would feel the same way. I would see slavery as an injustice that needs to change, and I would speak out. I wouldn't betray my own values.
No, you contradicted yourself. You contradicted. You contradicted yourself. Weren't you just talking about accepting reality? Let me finish. Man, listen to me. Don't contradict or argue with yourself. I asked you a question. Wasn't slavery at some point in time a reality or not? Answer for the people. Was it a reality or not?
It was a widely accepted and common reality, totally normal.
Hold on a minute. You already said that childbirth inevitably involves some degree of harm or pain. But we still do it and we accept it because it's simply a reality we have to face. Isn't that true?
Yes, it's true.
So, if you were living in a time when slavery was actually a reality, you would simply accept it because you said we accept reality even if it involves harm. And slavery was a reality. As an atheist, you would accept it.
La Sheikh. But just a second, sir. Just a moment. Does reality impose itself on God?
I'm talking to you as an atheist. I'm addressing you.
Let me speak.
Listen, hold on. We haven't even gotten into the Islamic perspective yet. I'm talking to you from the standpoint of you being an atheist. Right now, we're approaching this from the atheist perspective. You have to address the issue from the atheist point of view. Right after that, we'll move on to the Islamic aspect, which I've already answered 5,000 times. If you search on YouTube for Zain slavery or Zain servitude, you'll find dozens of videos. I'm speaking to you as an atheist to prove to all of you, brothers. The atheist has no moral reference point, and if he's cornered, I swear by the one besides whom there is no God, he'll come up with disastrous things. You know this rule you set. The rule you established is that there should be no harm. Your moral principle is about preventing harm. Isn't that right? Is that moral standard? Right, caller? Moral principle?
Yes.
If I ask you sexual relations outside of marriage, or
With minimal harm.
listen to me, listen. For example, as an atheist, you walk past a man and a woman. You see this man and woman having fornication, and as you can see, they're not married. Okay. And you see them having fornication. You ask the man, were you harmed by this? He says, no, I'm happy. You ask the woman, were you harmed by this? She says, no, I'm happy, enjoying it. Would that be moral for you?
If I saw a man and a woman, for example, having sex in the street,
He says, I see it as beneficial. She says, I see it as beneficial. You would consider it moral.
if I walked down a street, saw a man, woman having fornication,
Having fornication in the street, from your perspective, regardless of the place, but you saw it. You asked the man, were you harmed? He said, no, I'm happy. You asked the woman, were you harmed? She said, no, happy, enjoying it, unmarried, having fornication. All right? Would you say or describe that as just moral or immoral?
it's their freedom, of course it's moral.
Hold on just a second. If you found your sister in the same situation doing this and she told you, I'm fine, of course, I'm just giving you an example. If you found your sister in the same situation and she told you she wasn't harmed, and he also said he wasn't harmed, would you give same answer?
Yes, the same answer.
Drop down, cuckold. Drop down. Leave. That's the atheist. That's what I wanted to show you. Did you see the atheist? Didn't I tell you that every atheist ends up being either a cuckold, a pervert, or something like that? That's the atheist. That's the atheist. And he talks to me about slavery in Islam. You're a cuckold. This is atheism. Honestly, that's what atheism really is. An atheist is either a criminal or a cuckold. What? Because the atheist has no moral reference point. Understand this, brothers. The atheist throws doubts at you. He throws doubts at you, but he doesn't even have a moral reference himself. Most of the atheist's doubts are about morality. And you'll find that the atheist has no moral reference point. As for his question, brothers, please, I urge you, just search on YouTube if you don't mind. Just type in Zain slavery captives. Okay? You'll find a lot of very detailed explanations. And you'll see how Islam prevented slavery in a way that no one else ever could. The first muazzin in Islam was a slave in the pre-Islamic era, and that was Bilal ibn Rabah. May Allah be pleased with him. Islam didn't just free him, Islam made him the muazzin, the very first muazzin in Islam. Islam's first muazzin.